Smith. We are here at Mary Scruggs Works by Women Festival at the Second City. What? Tonight, we're going to talk about the thing that raised all of us, television. Television has never been more accessible than it is today, and with a growing number of platforms outside of network and cable TV like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, and The Rock's Instagram feed, more shows are being created with incredibly original content, like the live-action Lion King, or the live-action Aladdin, or the live-action Jungle Book, or the live-action Beauty and the Beast. Television and films are how today's world consumes stories, and stories have power over people. For example, a recent NYPD poll showed that 100% of officers enrolled to become John McClane. A follow-up poll showed that only 3% ended up going out to the coast with the guys, having a few laughs. Or, to nerd out for a second, actor David Tennant has cited wanting to be Doctor Who as a child as the reason he ultimately became an actor. Not only did he become an actor, he even went on to be the Doctor. And of course, having your childhood dream come true isn't the case for all of us. I know I myself am still waiting on my Hogwarts acceptance letter. Not Slytherin. But what I'm getting at here is that the stories we love influence us in our real lives. But sometimes it's not the things that are seen that have an effect, but the things that are not seen. What am I talking about? Okay, well, I'll answer your question with a question of my own. What do you get when you spell a missing fish's name backwards and add a W? Women. I'm talking about women in movies. Women are incredibly underrepresented on screen in films and TV. For every woman on screen, there are 3 men, or as I call it, Friday night, baby. According to a report from Variety, females comprise 29% of major characters and 30% of all speaking characters. That is ridiculous. That leaves only a measly 1% for female mimes. So most movies are about men, and overwhelmingly white men. So as a result, the majority of our culture's stories are about Caucasian men. And that's not to say that those stories are inherently bad stories. It's only pointing out that those stories are mostly white and male. Like Congress, for now. Well, why do we care? Well, for starters, most of the world isn't dudes. It's 50-50. Well, actually, men only make up 49% and women make up 51% of the population. So if the world is over half female, why the Adam Sandler aren't our movies? Well, women can go back to elementary school to win back their father's company too. Before we can even get into that, let's look at the roles women do get. For the most part, in overwhelming numbers, it's young and, well, attractive women getting the majority of roles. According to a study done in 2016 by the Center for the Study of Women in Television and Film, 23% of women on screen are in their 20s and 30% are in their 30s. Over half of men, on the other hand, are cast over 40. Dr. Martha Lawson, the center's executive director, draws light on why that is a problem. She says, as we grow older, we gain personal as well as professional power. When we keep them young, we keep them relatively powerless. Oh, okay, like a veal's legs. Exactly. There's another reason women are, as Dr. Lawson puts it, kept young. Roles for women, leading or otherwise, are 200% more likely to be portrayed in a sexual light. The sexualization of women on screen is in its own right a horrible and confusing message to send to both women and men who are constantly told via their screens that they should either, as a woman, be looking for male approval, or as a man, always be trying to have sex with classically attractive women. All right, let me backtrack a bit, because I'm not here to say that women should never have sex or even take off their clothes on screen. I like HBO. Naked women are not inherently anti-feminist, but over-sexualizing women in movies and TV is its own very large, very smelly, and very wriggly can of worms. So, for the purposes of this, let's do what they do in 50 Shades of Grey when they air it on E and take sex out of it. Let's talk for a minute about how any woman's relationship to a man in a movie is mostly related to their male counterparts. Mother, daughter, wife, girlfriend, pretend girlfriend. Seriously, watch any random movie tonight, and if you see a female character, I bet you 78 cents on the dollar that within the first few lines, a female character will either be claimed by a man or alternatively be able to be pursued by a man. And seriously, if you wouldn't mind taking that bet, because that might be my only opportunity to make money in the entertainment industry. So, men are more often than not shown with lives outside of their female counterparts. According to that same Variety article, around 60% of male characters were shown in the workplace and therefore defined by their professional roles, which is half as many as their female counterparts. But that same percentage of females were identified by the roles they assume in their personal lives, such as wives or mothers. That's why when you see this image and go, what? No, that would never happen. It's because Sofia Vergara, a super hilarious, talented, gorgeous actress, had no better offers that year. All right, look, I don't want to just yell percentages at you all day. I'm not Bernie Sanders. But there is a way to show that the issue of females being underrepresented is a systemic issue and not some phenomenon that happens every once in a while. In 1985, cartoonist and feminist Alison Bechdel inadvertently came up with a test to measure whether a movie represents women by their relationship to men or at all. This has since been coined as the Bechdel test. Now, to pass the Bechdel test, a movie has to adhere to 3 basic rules. 1, there has to be more than 1 named women in the movie. 2, these women have to talk to each other. And 3, they have to talk to each other about something other than a man. Okay, that doesn't seem so difficult. Doesn't seem to be acting like it's that much to actually do. But the results might surprise you. Only about 1/3 of the movies in the American Film Institute's top 100 movies pass this basic test. And out of my personal top 3 favorite movies, 0 of them pass. That means that Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King all do not pass the test. And not even half the movies up for Oscars this year passed. In 2018, just 3 years after Marty McFly came back to the future, which, by the way, does not pass the Bechdel test. For the movies that did, great, but just passing the test is just the beginning. In fact, just passing the test is kind of setting the bar super low. So low that Lil Jon and the East Side Boys were like, that's too low. And frankly, it is insane that so many films do not pass this low expectation of having women portrayed realistically, or portrayed, period. Merely having 2 women talk to each other, not regarding a man, is not in itself a grand feminist gesture. It's like a teeny feminist twitch. Only, just think of your favorite movie right now. The odds are that it does not pass the test. Here are some examples of great movies that I love that don't pass the test. Singin' in the Rain, the original Star Wars trilogy, Terminator, Breakfast at Tiffany's. If you're thinking, no, Maggie, those movies are old. Look, back then a woman was only seen as a mom, a grandma, or pre-pregnant. Of course they don't pass a modern test of female representation. Well, I would say that's bullshit because women were still people in the past, but okay, fine. So here are some newer ones that also don't pass. Whiplash, Grand Budapest Hotel, Edge of Tomorrow, 21 Jump Street, The Social Network, Avatar, Shrek, and sadly, Ken Burns Baseball. And if you're thinking, no, still old. Those movies aren't 2018, it's 2018 right now. To which I say, you're right, we fixed it. Women are portrayed often and speak lots and always have names. Just kidding, shut up and listen to my longest list of all. Baby Driver, The Foreigner, The Emoji Movie, Kong Skull Island, The Kingsman 2, Mother, It, Fate of the Furious, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, War of the Planet of the Apes, Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, The Boss Baby, and obviously, Daddy's Home 2. All right. Now, we've been talking about realistic expectations in movies, but you might be thinking, Maggie, movies are not real. Like, all of them are pretend worlds where nothing real is happening. All of them. The people in Bridget Jones are just as pretend as the ones in Lord of the Rings because all of it is fake. After which I say, exactly. There's nothing stopping you from having women in your movies. It is all made up. There's no reason screenwriters can't use their pretending minds to pretend up a woman who talks to another woman about not a man. In fact, it's even more awful that there are so few women when it comes down to it because it means the only reason there's not equal representation between men and women is pretend. Okay, why do we care? I mean, I'm a girl. I know in my real life, I'm defined by more than my unhealthy relationship with Legolas Greenleaf Fanleaf Tumblr accounts. I'm also defined by my unhealthy relationship with my full-size Legolas Greenleaf cardboard cutout. In the real world, I do feel pretty confident in my ability to think for myself and be my own person. But, most of us watch movies and television to turn off our brains for a while and enjoy a good story. But what we take in when our brain is turned off can shape us. Think back to my nerdy example of David Tennant, who became an actor because of TV. Now, the scariest part is that odds are you didn't notice. Odds are you didn't think about it, and it's not your fault. It's the fault of filmmakers, of screenwriters, of producers, directors, actors. I know that it comes as no surprise with the Me Too and the Time's Up movement exposing a seemingly unending amount of sexual assault allegations against men in Hollywood, not to mention not paying women equally. It's no shock that these men aren't trying to help women in a system that was made to help these men succeed. But we're hopeful in the future that these movements will lead to strides in getting women properly represented in film and TV. But just in case, we here at the News have decided to take matters into our own hands. So take a look.
Hollywood won't do it. We have to do it ourselves.
Hey guys, I know it's gonna be an uphill battle, but I think I have an idea.
And Claire, shut up. I think I've got an idea. Shit. I lost it. It's gone. Can you get me a coffee?
Tell me what I was thinking.
Yeah, George, they need a name.
A name? What, are you kidding me?
Just tell me, because I don't think you trust us.
I mean, we have Margaret's, Ashley.
If they're not talking about a man, then what are they talking about?
Cabana is the name. I'm friends with the Cabana on Facebook.
Stocks and portfolios, buy, sell!
You feel so.
Well, yeah, you don't understand it because you don't have one, you know? A penis.
Good, let's do it again.
What? You can still make this movie.
I don't even know what we're doing anymore.
There's so many good actresses. Too bad we can only pick one.
Sell by date! Milk!
You want to do this from London, old chap? Just tell me. She needs a name! Why don't you get on Wikipedia if you're so smart, Gary? No!
Oh, hey Ashley.
Hey, Cabana.
Some weather you've been having, huh?
Yeah.
Dude! We did it! Bechdel!
Seems like it's still such a low bar.
Yeah?
Hell yeah, bar. Shots!
Yes. Thank you for watching. For the News with Maggie Smith, I'm your host, Maggie Smith. Thank you and